What is up? Good morning, my owner operators. It is Christian over at Voyager Nation. Just want to come to you live. So I know there's a lot of guys that have been waiting for the right opportunity to purchase their trucks. First time owner operators, that is. And I guess there's even some guys that park their trucks and looking to get it back in. So taking the time out today, what we do is we go through our experiences, we go through the questions on multi social media platforms, and we deliver the answers here. So check this out. There's a lot of guys right now buying their first truck and they're out there looking for the best deal. So one of the things I do want to talk about based on the recent experience, where to source the truck from. So be very careful when you're out there buying someone's truck from private owner. One of the things is that you don't know what you're gonna get, and once you make that sale, it's gonna be absolutely final. So you have to pay attention. A lot of guys do not know about other resources that are out there. Third party lease to purchase places, kind of like the SF5 that's out there. That would be one. LRM out of Miami. Our guys tend to like, and we've seen a lot of guys be very, very successful with Lone Mountain. So their inventory, they do get it off of major fleets, and you hear us talk about it all the time. Absolutely, we are not endorsed by them or anything like that, but we are successful. Well, at least our guys are very successful with the trucks that they pick up there. Some guys have picked up new trucks, some guys have picked up trucks with very low mileage, but the down payment is very reasonable, and so is that monthly payment. So before you go out there, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy that truck. I'm just saying know all the options you have so you can make the best decision for yourself. So keep in mind that's one of the most important pieces, right? That's going to be the tool that you use to make your money. So one of the things that a lot of guys get a little nervous by is that when they make the phone call, they got to go through underwriting, right? So there's a couple things that you have to know about those guys. So number one is credit, right? So it is not completely based on that credit score. They're not just looking at that, right? They're going to look at some payment history. It's a little deeper than that. So rest assured, it's not just because you have a slightly bruised credit score that it's a no go for you. It might actually be it may be a yes. You just got to put yourself in there in order to see if it's going to work out, right? So they're also going to look for a business plan. So what is the business plan that they're really looking for? So they're going to go through some questions, nothing major. This is not an exam, but they do want to know what is your intent with this truck, and they want to believe they have to believe in your plan in order to give you the financing for this truck. So that they want to know intent, expectations, they want to know how long you've been in the game, how all of these things are going to matter. So they're going to take all of this all together, and what they're going to do is they're going to either deny you or they're going to approve you. But it's not as scary as people think. If you have specific questions about that, it is 863-342-5171. Give us a call. We're here to we're here to touch bases with you, talk about it. We will tell you what kind of questions specifically they have asked our guys, and what kind of answers should be ready in order for you to get approved. So this might just be the opportunity that you need to get on the road. All right. So there are, like, a lot of people are always thinking, when's the right time? When's the right time? We always say it's always the right time, but for sure the rates are going to be, they are heating up. We got plenty of people grossing, top grossing, those numbers that make sense for the owner operators. You're seeing 8, 9, and even 10,000 weekly. So it's making sense. All right. So you need that business plan for sure with Lone Mountain. They're going to be they're going to be also talking about financing, right? This is the money question that a lot of people are wondering, right? Like, how much do I need to make this happen, right? So you're going to need the down payment. That's for sure. So they're going to need to see the full down payment and reserves to operate their trucks at the time of applying. So they're going to want to probably see that snapshot of the bank account, that you have the resources in the bank. Any questions about that, give us a call, 863-342-5171. And again, the specific experience they need is you have to have 1 year of recent full-time tractor trailer experience with a stable work history. Now, for all my people who are building and moving towards this, notice they say that, with a solid, stable work history. That job hopping stuff, man, it's frowned upon. So I'm not saying you got to stay in an evil place or anything like that. I'm just letting you know people do look at that. it does go a long way. So just have that consideration, right? You may be in a shitty spot and you got to move from one carrier to from one company to another. We understand that definitely does happen, but it shouldn't be jumping like 7 jobs in 1 year, right? So be cautious with that. It's going to affect the ability or actually you're going to draw attention to you for that, and you're going to have to answer some uncomfortable questions. All right, so keep that in mind. Remember, our idea here is to give you the resources, understand what people are asking, what they're looking for, so that you can be successful. All right, so even talking about that, be very careful, guys. For all my company guys out there, you do have a PSP, and for those who don't know what a PSP is, it's going to be it's basically your score. It's basically your personal score that's out there based on what your habits are, right? So anytime that you're getting put out of service on the road, or you out of service, or you even have a clean inspection, it doesn't really matter what's happening. It gets documented not only on the carrier that you're running for, right? It will hit their information, but it will also hit you. So it will be on you for 3 years, on the carrier for 2 years. So why is this important to you? Because even if you're buying a company truck, and I mean, let's say you're buying your first truck, you've been driving a company truck for the last few years, or few months, whatever the case may be. Any kind of out of services that you're getting, even if it's violations on the truck, they carry with you, right? It's going to be weighted on you, because the way they look at it is that you drove, you were supposed to do that pre-trip, you were supposed to say, I can't drive this until this is fixed. Now, some people may not fix it. They're going to say, take it just like that. Remember, you're not forced to do anything. This is your license. This is your bread and butter. That's the tool that you're using. So in an event like that you're being forced, or you're being coached to do unsafe things of that matter, whether like driving beyond your hours allocated to you, violating your hours of service just to make a delivery, running illegal tires and all of that. Remember, it will be on your record as well, just like my man right here, a few pages of it. And now he has a problem, because he has to answer these questions. So what happened at that moment that seemed like a reasonable decision ends up to be his problem a little bit later on. So be cautious with that. All right. So again, we're just talking about things that you may encounter that you weren't thinking about, that maybe at the moment it seemed logical, but then it doesn't. Again, you got a lot of guys, man, with good intent, doing the right thing, trying to keep that customer happy, and keeping the on-time service performance, at the level required by the carrier. And then all of a sudden you're getting punched in the face with something like this a few months later. So guys, pay attention to that. Please protect your driver's license. That is your bread and butter on how you make moves and how you make money. All right. So another thing you guys got to be prepped for is insurance. Don't just automatically think that by getting I got a comment here. It's only bad when others do it. There you go. So it's only bad when others do it. But guys, this will affect you. This will affect, it's going to be on that record for 3 years. So you have to pay attention. All right. So another thing we want to talk about, guys, is that insurance. I think people go on automatic default, that they think that just getting, using the insurance that a carrier provides to you is the best option. And that's not necessarily the case. I have seen where your private quote comes in cheaper than what that carrier is offering. So that's number one. Number two, for that, in my opinion, our guys, as well as true owner operator, you want to have that NTL and your physical damage piece of insurance on you. You know what I mean? It's not gonna, the price isn't as astronomical as people are going to be thinking. So again, this is for first time owner operators who haven't been through this already, who haven't been through that grinder. Physical damage and bobtail can be very, very reasonable. We help you guys get quotes. So we got a couple contacts. Once we're moving through the process, we let you have them. And what you're doing is you're getting quotes, and you're going to line all those quotes up on the table, right? Some are going to require a down payment, others will not. So you'll see all kinds of premiums. And what you're going to do there is pick the one that best fits your business need. So when you're doing that, the beauty about that is that it is your insurance. So even if you had to move carriers, right? I'm not saying a job hop, but sometimes, if you're running for somebody that wants you to do illegal shit all the time, and it's time to go, then you want your own insurance, because when it's time to go, you're not hunting for insurance again. You're not looking for the new carrier to offer you insurance. You just quite have it on your own. Yes, a lot of guys fall in love and they romanticize the idea that it gets deducted from your settlement report. And although that is great, I don't think that's a reason just in itself in order to just jump on their insurance. May sound convenient, but unless you're trying to make a move. So pay attention to that. We help you get those insurance quotes. 863-342-5171. Remember, when you're leasing on, you're leveraging the cargo and that liability portion of it to that carrier, right? So you're only shopping for your physical damage and your bobtail. And in a lot of instances, a lot of the lenders, they have their they have a list of the of insurance companies that you cannot use, right? Just maybe because they're late to pay some claims or they've gone through something that they have a list. So make sure you're checking. If you're actually financing a truck, ask the finance department, is there a list of insurances that we cannot use, right? So that's just that's just something to pay attention to as you're shopping around for that insurance. Okay, so again, any questions on that, guys? It is 863-342-5171. All right, so we have next is going to be the fuel cards. What is the plan for the fuel card? A lot of people underestimate this portion, right? You don't think that there's a lot of money here when it is, guys. Trucking is a penny business at the end of the day. So even some good news for our guys. What I got a call from the rep, from the pilots, from the pilot. They're actually increasing the savings on us. They didn't tell me how long, but hey, we'll take it. I don't care if it's a week or two. We're going to take it. I'm sure they're trying to incentivize our guys to use the fuel card as rather than the second fuel card that we have, because that's the type of program we have. We look for that ingenuity in order to push all the savings, 100% of it, to our owner operators, right? They get that right back, man. That is money in your pocket. Do not leave money on the table. So you do have to have a plan. Going back to the Lone Mountain, they're going to ask you this, how much are you going to be spending on fuel? What's your expectation? What is this? What is that? So imagine running for a carrier like we do. We actually give our guys 2 different fuel cards so they can max out on that savings. All right. I got a comment right here. Sean, he saved over $300 his first week. Here we go, Sean. That's what I'm talking about. $300. Guys, if we go back to Lone Mountain, let me bring them up real quick. Bear with me for those guys there. I got one arm. All right, so here. So there's some average truck payments in the, I'm going to just pull one just at random, just whatever. $1,400. So if my man Sean right here saving $300 his first week, he's actually in savings. He can make a truck payment if that was his truck. So guys, that is money going right back to you. I mean, dispatch does a very nice job. You do a very nice job of negotiating rates, going to certain markets to get to make sure that you get the cash flow needed and the gross that you need to be successful. So imagine just giving away that money. So guys, pay attention to that. It absolutely matters. I can't stress that enough. So pay attention. And if your current carrier is not offering you 100% of that fuel savings and you're not seeing it, you definitely want to give us a call. All right, 863-342-5171. So you want to have a plan about that. You want to talk about the fuel cards. You want to talk about those discounts. It's going to show, even if you were going through the Lone Mountain people and they're asking about your business plan, it even shows that you considered, fuel cards, IFTA, whose IFTA you're running under, the plate program. How much is the plate? Whose plate are you using? All of these details matter when you're going through that underwriting, when they want to hear your story, when they want to hear your plan. So this definitely helps. And at the end of the day, like, they're not really like these mysterious questions that are going to give you this tremendous shock value, right? At the end of the day, they're so simplistic questions that you should know. So if you don't know some of the answers to the questions that you're asking you, well, that's just a healthy gut check. It's a healthy gut check to let you know that you should be doing a little bit more homework in order to have these answers, that you've planned appropriately, that you have a plan for it, that you're going to execute, and a way to execute that plan that you have, right? So again, this is for those first-time owner operators who are deciding to jump on into the game and buy their very first truck because it's time, and it's time to start growing their business and do it for themselves. So again, do not hesitate to give us a call, 863-342-5171. I know it's a little cold out there in Florida, but we also got guys who have come by the office. We have an appointment today, and we actually had an individual come through last week. Even though it's a little nippy out there, but nevertheless, it is important to come through our location if you can. 3180 Mulford Road, Mulberry, Florida. The beauty about that, you get to sit with operations, you get to sit with dispatch, you get to see the equipment, you get to meet the billing department. It becomes a tangible experience because you need a solid business plan and a solid carrier who understands the sense of urgency to get you on the load. So, guys, open door policy. Come on in, give us a call, make an appointment, 863-342-5171. All right. So next thing we talk about is going to be also the dispatch, right? You're going to want to know, how are you going to be dispatching, right? The more versatility you have, the better you're going to be as that owner operator, right? You want that ability to shift your business. So imagine selecting a carrier just like us, where you can do OTR, you can do regional. They're customized dispatch to the individuals that are in front of us. So the beauty about that is that you can turn it on and off. And what I mean by that is that you want that ability to adapt your business because you're chasing the gross revenue. So you want to be consistent on that. And the only way to be consistent on that is to be adaptable, right? Because markets shift. No one controls the markets, right? So what you can do is adapt your truck and go to certain areas to always have the consistency in that growth. And then that's what our guys do, right? Every mind is a world out there. Our owner operators, they all run differently. Some guys are home every weekend. Some guys are out for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time. Everyone has a way to run their business. You just got to be able to have that adaptability to roll with your dispatcher. So we got the guys that can hit, seasoned individuals that have been in the game a very long time. And again, you always want to be amongst the elite in order to book the best loads and have the best business plan that's out there, right? Don't leave money on the table, not when booking loads, and also not even on the fuel cards. You need to take advantage of those, of the expertise and the perks of all of that. Guys, you got to give us a call, 863-342-5171 to learn more. And just prepare yourself, right? You always want to be on the prepared. Even while you're shopping around for insurance, there are a couple of things that people run into, in getting approved because they didn't take care of those PSPs. So that's why we bring all of these things up, because they all do matter. They all add up. So when you're selecting that first truck, think about all of these things, because you don't want anything to be a surprise. So do your homework now in order to have the success later, right? So that's what this show's about. That's what we do. Guys, come on through. We're open for answering any kind of questions you may have. We'll let you know what some of our guys have done to be successful, and you too could follow that plan, adapt it a little bit, carve it out to fit your needs, and here you go. But the idea is to do something. So if this has been on the books to do this and to buy your own truck, time is always now. We're here to help out. Open to questions. Again, what we do is we communicate any kind of information that we see across our social media platform and deliver answers right here. All right, guys. So check it out. And even scheduling the picking up of your truck is so monumental. So let me break that down real quick. What a lot of our guys have done. They did it last week. They're doing it this week. We even have a guy coming in for orientation. He's actually here today, but he did not just buy his first truck. He already had it. So what happens is, when you pick up the truck, you have a certain amount of time. You have to put yourself under pressure to get that truck under a load as quick as possible, because the show started. Once you roll metal off of that individual's off of the lot, it's start time. A lot of people think that buying the truck is like, all right, I made it. Nah, man, this is just the beginning. And that's what we understand. So if you give us a call while you're in the process, what happens is we help you align everything so that you're literally picking up the truck, possibly going through the house to put everything that you need in it, and then right to orientation to be on the load by the end of the day, be plated and have insurance. So Guys, planning. This trucking business is all about that. So, if you are in that process right now about buying that first truck and you're a little lost, just because you've never done it before, whether it's a 2290, whether we're talking, EIN numbers and plates or IFTA, and you're just a little confused, guys, give us a call, 863-342-5171. Once again, we're on standby. So I just want to jump on here real quick and let you guys know that. So first time owner operators, make the call, get in the know, work your plan, and success is in your favor. All right, my people, be safe, drive safe, and we will talk soon.